Hey, good morning, everyone. Pastor John here. Just want to take a few minutes to reflect on this past week message and all the activity we had. You know, if you haven't heard that we had a hurricane coming our way, and with prayer and just a stroke of luck, the storm kind of pushed off a little bit more to the east. And we want to keep all our friends and neighbors that in the path of that storm up around Palacios and into the Houston area. We want to keep them in our prayers. Not too much damage from what I understand has taken place. So with that being said, this past Sunday, we finished up our three-part series on the prodigal son. As you remember, we went over the youngest son, who is often referred to the prodigal son. And then the following week, we talked about the older son, who is in itself, you know, the prodigal son. You know, the younger son took his share of his inheritance, and he split. You know, he went down the country and spent it all on wine, women, and song, and was broke, you know, distraught, didn't know what to do, didn't have any friends, didn't know one to turn to. So he decided that he would just give up his rights, what was left of those rights, and go back to his father and beg him to be one of his servants. Well, when the father saw him coming down the road, he ran to him and he gave him a big hug and put a cloak on him and a ring on his finger and had a great big pachanga for him. Then the older son, you know, we followed that up with the older son, and he was really kind of upset about all that. He was furious that his father would do all this when he spent his whole life working and slaving for his father in the fields. And he even quoted and said, you know, that son of yours. And what that entailed was, you know, he was like, man, you've never done anything like that for me. You've never offered me an opportunity to even come to you with my friends to have some type of little gathering, a little party. Well, the father, we wrapped that all up with the father, and we called it the Prodigal Father. And through all of that, we came to learn that the story of the prodigal son is all about the father, because the father offered grace in all situations. He never rebuked the youngest son. He never reproached the older son, never scolded either one. In fact, he gave the older son the same attention as he gave the younger son. He said, what I have has always been yours. What I have has always been yours. And that's pretty amazing if you stop to thinking about it. You know, here we are on this world, and we've run from God, and we didn't want anything to do with him. We think sometimes that we are better off without him, or that we can handle our own situations and we really don't need his help. And sometimes, you know, we sit in the church and we come to church every Sunday, and we reach out and we do things for the church. We do things in God's name. We go on missions, and we go and feed the hungry. We do food banks. We do all kinds of things. And it's really not about all of that. What God has to offer us has always been there. And he will always be there. And so we shouldn't become angry because we don't feel or we don't get the recognition that we think we deserve, just like the older son. Brothers and sisters, just remember that God will always love you. God is always waiting on the mountaintop for you. And he's going to come running to you whenever you decide to come home. And for those who have been there and stuck it out through thick and thin, instead of getting angry and harden our hearts about what we do for the church, just remember, we do it in the name of the Father. We do it for his glory, because we love him and he loves us. And that's the relationship that he wants with us. Y'all have a blessed week. Pray for a little bit of rain. We missed out on some rain, so pray for a little bit of rain. Stay out of the heat as much as possible. It's supposed to be really hot this week. God bless. Come see us.